Hey everybody, Pat Blocker here with the Peaceful Pause Method. Today we're going to talk about the dog's guide to handling stress. But before we do that, let's go ahead and have you click the like and the subscribe so that we can stay in touch. Okay, so what do we think that a dog would say about handling stress? Stress is, right now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like stress around the world is really at a high point. And so day to day, we really kind of need to deal with it. And I have found that my dogs are a good source of inspiration for finding peace and how to relax like a dog. So, dogs really, and I'm jealous of their uncanny ability to nap anytime and anywhere. So I got to thinking, let's take a look at that. Let's see what dogs might have to say about relaxing and chilling. So, stress manifests in both dogs and humans in surprisingly similar ways. So, when we're feeling stress, we might feel like we're holding tension. Sometimes I find my shoulders up to my ears, and sometimes we don't even realize that we're holding this tension. So we might become restless, we might become irritable, and so that, dogs also experience that, and they exhibit stress through behavioral signals and also physical signals. So you might wonder what some of those are. Excessive yawning is something that dogs often do when they're feeling stressed. If it's a stressful situation, I promise you it's not boredom, but it's a way for them to release tension. We also have lip licking, which is really hard to say unless I'm careful. So that is when a dog will lick their lips. It's always, remember, we want to take it in context. If there's food present, it could be about licking their chops, but if there is not food present, then it's probably that they're feeling some stress, or maybe just wishful thinking. I don't know. Wishful thinking about food. But pacing is another way dogs can show that they're stressed. Restlessness and just unable to settle down. You've probably seen a dog do a shake off where they do a complete body shake, and what they're doing is they are literally shaking off tension and sort of resetting themselves and getting back into their bodies, so to speak, and their brains. So we can also see avoidance in dogs if they're feeling stressed, or we can see another displacement behavior. There are a lot of them, but this is one that we often see, which is suddenly there's this really, really interesting spot on the floor to sniff. So that's kind of an avoidance behavior. They're kind of saying, I always think about when you're walking down the street and there's somebody approaching you with a clipboard, and suddenly you're just like, that is such an interesting building. So that's the human equivalent of sniffing intently. So really, dogs don't bottle up energy like humans do. That's another thing I'm jealous about. But they find natural ways to release the stress. If there is any pent up tension or energy, then they really have very natural and actually simple ways. So if we're going to take a page from the book of dog, then let's talk about what dogs do and what humans can do. We were just talking about shake-offs, and I do that sometimes when I'm at my desk and I'm there too long, or I'm watching the news or something, which I try not to do too much of. And I'll just stand up and just literally shake, just moving around. And this just kind of gets the blood flowing and resets our emotions. So so we can do the same thing, just taking a break, and doesn't have to be long, but just a couple of minutes to reset. Deep breathing is another thing that dogs do, believe it or not, and that is yawning. And we were talking about that. So yawning is a way to physically release stress, tension, and we can do the same thing. I sometimes notice I yawn when I'm feeling a little bit stressed. So interesting. I must have learned that from my dogs. But we can, as humans, we can do conscious deep breathing, and really that will have a similar effect. And so practicing slow, deep breathing all the way down into your belly, that is going to help you to get centered and grounded. Another thing that dogs do is they seek comfort and connection. A lot of times dogs that are feeling anxious will seek out their trusted human, and they're looking for comfort. And so sometimes they will lean into you for pets and snuggles. Sometimes they'll crawl into your lap, or sometimes just sitting nearby and knowing that you're there can be comforting to them. So what we humans can do is pretty much the same thing. It's essential for us to have connection when we're feeling stressed. So talking to a loved one, giving a friend a hug, or I also highly recommend petting a dog. That's a great way to seek connection. So we can do the same thing that the dogs are doing in seeking connection. I would caution you, though, you might want to ask before you crawl into somebody's lap, but I'll leave that up to you. Another thing that dogs do is they engage their senses, and dogs pretty much live in an olfactory world that we're never privy to. It's amazing. But using their senses, they can comfort themselves, they can relieve stress, and they're being a dog, and that really helps them to process things and to decompress. So Sniffing is a very calming activity for dogs. So now what humans can do, we can also engage our senses, which can mean simply being aware of the sights and sounds and smells of the things around you. You can go hug a tree if you're into that. That is really a way of centering and grounding yourself. So the last thing I want to say that dogs do is they are very good at letting go of the moment. They don't dwell on the past or about worries about the future. They don't, I'm jealous of this too. They don't have to be worried about being late for work or what the stock market is doing. And so they're very good at living in the moment. So we like to take a page from the book of dog and just learn to practice mindfulness and to be in the moment, because that's really the only time that we have is in the moment. So those are some things that we can learn from our canine teachers. It doesn't have to be complicated. Simple actions like just moving our bodies and taking deep breaths, seeking connection with our friends, family, loved ones, and petting the dog. That's a big one. My dogs like that, actually. So anyway, we can embrace these natural stress relief techniques, and I think that's going to make our lives a little bit better. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Again, I'm Pat Blocker, the creator of the Peaceful Pause Method, and don't forget to subscribe and like so that we can stay in touch and find more information on my services and so on at my website, which is www.patblocker.com. You can email me at info@patblocker.com. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.